What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Monstrosities Voice, Horrors Untouched Conversations, the podcast for Black Horror, by Black Horror, and I'm your lovely host, Kaija Fields, here with a special guest. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Madeline Brown, Maddie of Meg Pictures Studio, owner, filmmaker, writer, director, horror fanatic.
Everything.
Murderer.
No,
Not murderer.
no.
I'm just kidding.
And if you're watching this, it's February.
Yay.
And that means that it's not only Black History Month first, but it's also Women in Horror Month.
Second.
That's all I gotta say.
Actually, really first. Okay.
Really first. Whatever. Anyway, so we are going to talk about a interesting Black horror film that I kind of stumbled across called Repentant.
Dun, dun.
So, spoiler alert, if you have not seen the film yet, it's free to stream on Tubi, so go on Tubi and watch it. It's with...
And Amazon Prime. I watched it on Amazon Prime.
Okay, cool. Well, Tubi, Amazon Prime, stream it. It's only like an hour and some change long. It's not that long. It's cool. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So, we got Repentance, released in 2013. Starring Forest Whitaker, Anthony Mackie, Sanaa Lathan, and Mike Epps. And Mike Epps, it was really good to see him.
It was good to see him something not funny.
Yeah, and a serious, dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did a good job, even though I have my thoughts on this movie.
I think they should have showed him more, because he seemed so important for him to like only be there in like 2-second
increments, right?
Like, give me more.
Okay, first, before we jump into that, let's give you a little synopsis as to what the movie is about. So, after a long night of drinking, you have Tommy, who is played by Anthony Mackie, and you have Ben, who's played by Mike Epps. They're drinking, and the director makes it very overt that they are drinking and driving, and that they're drunk AF. Don't drink and drive, please. And so, they run over something and or someone, and oh shit, we gotta go. Haha, hence to I know what you did last summer. They run over somebody drunk, and they get the fuck out of there. So, 4 years or a couple of years later, Tommy kind of recreates or reinvents himself as this like self-help life coach, yoga instructor extraordinaire, and he has a book. He's an author as well. He has this book where he's talking about his near-death experience and how that changed his life for the better. And he's touring and he's seeing all these people. And so while he was at one of his signings, he meets Angel Sanchez, who's played by Forest Whitaker, who comes and is like, hey, can you sign my book? And Forest Whitaker is giving very much so Mad Dog from Jason's Lyric. Y'all need to watch Jason's Lyric. Y'all, wait, hold on. Your homework is to watch Jason's Lyric, then come back and watch Repentance. And let me know in the comments below if it's not the same Forest Whitaker. Because it really is. But yeah, pretty much Angel is disgruntled and he's dealing with like grief, and so he's just trying to figure out what to do with the passing of his mother. He reaches out to Tommy as some form of like coaching, private coaching. Tommy's like no, but then after a while he decides to do it, and then it's
for selfish reasons. Yeah,
that's his last coaching session. Secrets come out. So what were some overall thoughts of the movie that you...
So when Repentance came out in 2013, I made it my mission to go see it, and then I seen the reviews and I was like, okay, I'm gonna miss this one. And so then when you told me to watch it, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this without any negative connotation. I remember from like 2013, which isn't much because I have the worst memory. But I thought the movie was okay. I felt like everything happened really fast. Like, everything was just really fast, and then everything was kind of just surface stuff, okay? Forest Whitaker, he loses his mom, he's grieving, but then there's also something mentally wrong with him, and then he meets Tommy. Tommy's like, I don't do sessions, then his brother's like, oh, they trying to kill me. And so then he takes the session selfishly and then wants to dump him last minute. That really pissed me off because I was like, okay, I mean, like, help my nigga out. But then to turn around and, because in the beginning when they hit something, they just say, we hit a tree. And then now we find out that they hit his mother, and I'm like, oh shit.
But don't give the spoiler out until the end, though.
Wait, no spoiler.
No. Well, it's a spoiler, but we're gonna wait.
It's okay.
To give the spoiler.
But I thought the movie overall was okay. It was beautifully shot nonetheless, but I just feel like it was just one dimensional.
Very much so.
Word. There we go.
Okay, so let's have a quick conversation about Sanaa Lathan. Sis, I love you, but I don't understand your purpose and or
What was
point.
that reason?
What was that reason? Like, I don't understand. Her purpose in this movie was to look good, because that's what she did. She did a great job doing that.
She's so beautiful.
She's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Sis is stunning. And to complain about Ben to her husband. That's all she did the whole movie. And why he here? What he doing? He ain't staying here.
I'm here to complain.
No, literally, she came here to complain.
But then there was also the fact, because when he tells the story about how they met through Mike Epps, his character, and then Mike Epps goes to jail.
Yeah. And
then he falls in love with his sister's girl. But then also at the same time, it don't seem like that was his girl. It's like, it seemed like Mike Epps was just admiring her from afar. So was that really his girl?
She wasn't for him.
She still had no reason. There was no purpose. There was absolutely
no purpose.
There was no purpose for her to be there at all.
And moving into purpose, just talking about, like you saying, one-dimensional, like, just there was no form of character development.
Nothing.
Whoever you saw in the beginning and what their character traits were, that's exactly what happened. There was no no building up of character development. We knew from the beginning when Angel stood in line and got that book signed, he was twitching and shit. That nigga crazy. We knew that Tommy was very monotone and very like stoic and very just like. We knew that Sanaa Lathan was gonna complain the whole movie, and we knew that Ben. What the fuck?
We don't even know much about Ben.
We don't know about Ben
because he was only there for like 2 seconds.
We don't know
like,
about
the whole
Ben,
movie.
you know, but
terrible. Awful.
But yeah, so. One of the main grievances that I have with this film, besides just like the flat character development, is that the representation of grief and mental health.
Right.
I don't know if you remember the scene where, because the daughter was a yoga student of Anthony Mackie, which I thought was really fucking alarming. Like, hey, this crazy man is asking for positions. Then his daughter is in your yoga class. Ironically.
Right, but wasn't the yoga place, wasn't that Sanaa Lathan? Like, she teaches the kiddie class.
Yeah.
And I think he was
taking over.
Yeah, I think he was just taking over. But then I also saw that it was like, you just met this man, now all of a sudden his daughter's in.
Hashtag alarming.
But then Nicole Parker, she shows up, and it seems like her daughter it was still, I was like,
And Nicole Ari Parker, who's also beautiful as well, did you take your medicine? Did you take your medicine?
She had no reason to be there.
I'm just like,
the women in this film, and that hurts me to say was useless.
Yeah.
Trash.
But yeah, so I just don't appreciate how they're implying that him being mentally ill, because like grieving and being mentally ill are like two completely different things, right? So I don't appreciate how they kind of made both of them like squished together. Like, yeah, he's grieving on top of him being mentally ill, and that's why he killed all these people. It's like, granted, I know this is some form of like revenge, like misery,
but then he doesn't murder anybody.
His intention, though.
His intention was to murder.
It's all about the intention.
But Mama was like, real
he was smacking niggas across the head.
Oh, he was beating niggas.
He was beating niggas ass. Like,
but I agree with that. It's like is he mentally ill, or is he grieving?
Exactly.
And there was no distinction
between the two. And so my thing is that when you are representing, or when you have a character who is mentally ill, especially in horror, do not have his mental, he, she, they, whatever, their mental illness be the causing factor for them murdering, because that is misrepresentation and creates a form of stigma towards those who have mental health issues or who are mentally ill. And I'm just like,
Agree.
I just got anxiety. I ain't trying to kill nobody.
I just got depression.
No,
I completely agree, because it was like, we get he's grieving, but then he was also on lithium, so there was obviously prior mental illness that was made worse by his grieving and the fact that he lost his mother so instantly. But yeah, it was like, and then the scene when they had the altar. And it
that was so triggering.
And they were doing the hoodoo, which I appreciate, because I practice. So I was like, okay, but then when the aunties, this is a Christian house, well, get him some Christian help, because this man is in trouble.
You can pray and go to therapy.
Okay, pray,
but
go to
therapy.
And go to therapy, because I was like, y'all just saying he's grieving, but then there's obvious that he's mentally ill also. So now you have two very hard factors going on in his life. He's mentally ill and he's grieving, and now he's about to murder people.
That was his intention.
Let's pick something.
Yeah, let's find one. Let's find
something.
Yeah. So I think it's again, it's just really interesting how they played that, and I really didn't agree with it. But again, I want you to go and watch. I want you to go and watch Jason's lyric, okay? And I want you to see Forest Whitaker in Jason's lyric. And I want you to go back and I want you to watch.
He went back to his roots.
Repentance. And it's the same character.
You are hilarious.
I'm sitting here watching Repentance and I'm like, yo, this is mad. I have Jason's lyric on DVD. I love that movie. It takes place in Houston. I love it. That man went to his roots and dug deep and found Jason's lyric in Angel Sanchez.
I completely agree.
Absolutely. So, are there any other things in this film? What is something that you appreciated about this film? Sanaa Lathan. Being beautiful.
Yes. Her and Nicole.
Oh, yes.
They should not look that good. One thing I appreciate in the movie was how, okay, so like going back to the altar.
Yeah.
And everything he said to him. Family is the core. Family has to do the work. Yada, yada, yada. X, Y, and Z. And then once he kidnaps Sanaa Lathan. Is it Lathan or Lathan?
I thought it was Lathan. Because it's Lathan. So Lathan. Like Nathan, but Lathan.
Okay. Sanaa. Who knows?
We don't know.
When he kidnaps Sanaa and then Mike Epps shows up and we're all locked up and together, he flips that on him and was like, family is the core.
That's
family
very
has to
much
do the work.
I love Reunited vibes, actually. That was you don't know about Reunited yet.
Coming soon.
It ain't out yet.
Coming soon to a silver screen.
It's getting very much Reunited vibes.
But yeah, how he flipped that on him, because the reality of it is, all he wanted was him to admit that he murdered his mother. Or whether intentional, obviously wasn't. Well, it was somewhat intentional because it was drinking and driving. No one should be drinking. Don't drink and drive. But it wasn't intentional. But it wasn't necessarily an accident. So I feel like all he wanted was submission. Yeah, y'all gonna die. But on top of him, just wanted like admission. That's all Mama wanted. He talked about let's allow your mama to pass on. How about you admit to my murder
also,
so I can go to see Jesus?
Tommy living a lie. My nigga living a whole lie. And so that you can see that duality between Ben and Tommy, especially in that scene where he comes, he's like, I ain't gonna tell you no secret. So Tommy, even his wife didn't really know that he was living a lie. And so it's that on top of the fact that, spoiler alert, she didn't die when she got ran over. She died when Ben tossed her ass in the river, wherever it was. So it's like, not only are you living a lie, you're profiting, whatever. You're making money off of
this man's mom's murder.
The mother, essentially the death of my mom, and you aren't in jail, and you are living this lie, pretending like nothing happened. Your ass is finna get smacked across the head. And I'm finna tell you.
Sound pretty.
I mean, at the end of the day, who's the real bad guy?
Tommy's the
bad guy.
Forest Whitaker. Angel is the movie villain.
Yeah.
And Tommy is
the real villain.
We
should do that on Twitter today.
Villain
versus.
We should. Yeah. Because on top of that, when he was doing those small admissions, when he was getting his ass beat. That's on here, right? Yes. When he was getting his ass beat, we started, and I guess that's the only sense of character development we got. He talked about how he killed the cat, and then Ben took the fall. Yeah. And Ben always became the bad guy.
The fall guy, yep.
Which then leads to when they hit the mom, Ben becomes the fall guy. And then now we're here, and you've made this life, and you can't even allow me to sleep on your couch when niggas are trying to kill me. Because there was 12,000 bone on that head?
What happened? Anyways.
And then there was no story to
that. There was no story behind it. It was just, I need some money, bitch.
Because he talks about coming home from county when he shows up. So how is there a bounty on your head? What was the reason? I wish I can insert that clip here.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the meat and gravy for my vegans, the cauliflower and gravy. The fucking
Do vegans
ending.
eat gravy?
I'm a fake vegan. I eat gravy. Anyways, we gotta focus.
Sorry.
The ending. The ambiguity
ending.
of the ending.
The ending.
Who died? Who got shot?
I believe Tommy committed suicide.
You think he offed his wife and his brother too?
I don't, because we only heard a single gunshot.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So they give us a single, which, me being me, and me being a writer and a filmmaker, I hate things that don't end with a purpose.
Yeah.
You have these people locked up in the house. They're still, once Angel takes baby girl, who was the cutest thing in the whole entire world. Baby girl, he turns back, he see mama's like woosah woosah, and he like woosah woosah, everybody, and then we hear the single gunshot. Tommy, Sanaa Lathan, the character, we don't even know
Maggie.
Maggie. I hate the name. Maggie and Ben. Everybody is still locked up in the basement. And Tommy is able to get his hand free. He grabs the gun and he's like, we're all spiritually dead. And I was like, you
Ooh, child, he just won't let it go.
Like,
Let it go, Tommy.
You weren't spiritually dead when you hit this woman left foot for dead and then wrote a book to profit off. Okay,
let it go.
Me being me, the universe don't like that. So we hear one gunshot, and how I thought it was gonna end, I thought it was gonna be murder suicide. I thought he was gonna kill wife, kill brother, kill himself. But then we hear one gunshot, and I'm like, okay, maybe he just killed himself.
The other people just bled out. Ben and Maggie probably just bled out.
But he didn't beat them that bad though.
They left for dead.
I guess so. But I just see all these questions. I don't like that. I don't like that. Close it up. Who's dead? Who's not dead?
Exactly. It's great, but you have to build up towards the ambiguity of an ending. If it's going to be like that, you can't just give us like very little fake information and be like, "Oh, we died." No, you can't do that.
If you're just gonna give me one thing. If we was just gonna do gunshots, I needed to hear 3. Yeah. If we were gonna do one gunshot, I needed to see Tommy blow his brains out. We like guts and we like blood. Okay, I'm a Saw girl. I like gore. I need to see this man blow his brains out. I want to see.
This is a thriller.
Thriller my ass. I need to see. So I need to see something. Like, don't just give me a single gunshot and I'm sitting here like, okay, so do they bleed out? Are they just there? Are they still just there?
Very much so. Does
he go back to the house? Because we was fixing up the house to sell, put on the market. Are we not putting the house on the market? Does he go back? Does the Cole and Parker come back in the picture? Did we get one big happy family?
It was giving very much, and honestly, we don't even see that he healed, or if that is that doing that act with Tommy, Ben, and Maggie was an act of healing or a vengeance. We don't get that either. It's just like boom. Somebody kid.
I think in the terms of that, I think when little bit wasn't it Francesca? Little bit, she was just the daughter, the adorable little daughter. When she came to him and was like, "Grandma let me out," and she said goodbye and she went on to Jesus. I think that was his healing, because he locked him in there because Mama said so. Mm-hmm. And then when Mama said goodbye, I think he knew that meant he didn't need to go no further, or he didn't need to become Tommy, who was a murderer. So I think he healed. I think he healed in the form of grievance that I did what my mama needed me to do, and now I'm gonna just take my daughter and I'm gonna go with my lithium and my shaky hand and my regular mental illness.
Mad dog vibe.
I'm gonna just go because Mama said we good. And if Mama say we good, we good. Okay? Because let me tell you, somebody killed my mama. It's on the pop.
I'm gonna do Mad Dog too. I'm sorry, I'm obsessed.
I'm locking niggas in. I don't even have a basement because we're in Texas. We don't have basements out here. Garages.
You'd be locked in the garage.
Soundproof somewhere. Okay.
But
feel the pain.
Overall, Repentance was definitely an interesting film. I really appreciate. I love anything that takes place in New Orleans, Louisiana. I love it.
Facts.
I love the culture of the city. I think that was a great take on that. Again, I really don't get a lot of character development. This sounds like a movie review, like an actual movie review.
Because we're not happy here.
We're not happy, but it's okay.
Black, we're not happy.
It's okay because at the end of the day, you have a group of black people that created a movie, and we're gonna acknowledge that.
Yes, we're gonna appreciate that. But with the movies,
exactly. You know, it has it's interesting.
Yeah.
Again,
because I love me a good psychological thriller.
Exactly.
This is an okay psychological thriller.
Yeah, very much so. Okay,
It's okay.
It's giving very much. Again, please go watch Jason's Lyric. That is your prerequisite. Watch Jason's Lyric.
Not the prerequisite.
Then watch Repentance,
College
and then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But thank you, Maddie, for coming onto the show.
Yay.
It's really nice to have you here. Y'all, this is my favorite director ever. She's awesome. Do you want to plug in Reunited or no?
Yes.
Okay.
We can do that.
Okay.
All right. So speaking of
Psychological.
Let's roll it back. That's for the bloopers. Psychological thrillers. Reunited, which is a story about a girl who gets revenge on her high school bullies. All special effects done by this lovely woman right here. We'll be out soon. When? I do not know. Do not ask. We do not have a date. And if somebody else asks me that, I might commit murder.
It's okay. No. Breathe, Tommy. Breathe.
But it is coming soon to a silver screen near you. You can follow me at, what is my Instagram handle?
Get it together.
Meg Pictures, MEG Pictures _. And that's Instagram and Twitter. And yes, hopefully the trailer will be here soon. And hopefully this movie will be here soon.
Awesome.
Or I'm going to have to murder someone.
No, we're not going to do that, Tommy.
No?
Well, thank y'all so much for tuning into another episode of Monstrosities Voice, Hearts and Such Conversations, a podcast for Black Heart by Black Heart. Please follow us on social media, on Twitter at MVHU Podcast, on Instagram at MVHU Podcast. If you want to follow our sister company, Kai Effect Horror Group, on Instagram, it's KF Horror Group. You can also go on the website, www.kaieffecthorror.com. Please don't forget to support Black horror always, and then it's
Always.
February, Women in Horror Month. You should support women every day, but especially this month, support Black horror, support women in horror, because Black kids love horror too. Y'all stay spooky. Peace.